What's up, little plickers, and welcome to the Plicka Podcast. I'm Jerome,
And I'm Nick.
and today we're talking about Doctor Strange.
Dun dun dun.
But yeah, so we're talking about Doctor Strange. I actually didn't think about it until just now. We have to pick our favorite person in the movie, and
Oh,
and I think I'm gonna. I sometimes we always mix up what order we do this in, but I'm again gonna have to kind of go the cheating way and pick the main actor, Benedict Cumberbatch, Doctor Strange. Because there's no one else really stands out. Now that I'm thinking about it, I guess I could. I don't know.
what about that? Is it Mr. Wong? Is that his
It's
name?
just Wong.
Wong.
I liked him. He's probably my second favorite in the movie. But and I really like this movie. It's in my tops. But I just thought about it right now that I mean obviously he's in the movie majority of the time. But I feel like no one else stands out like he
No,
does.
he's yeah. I mean, I feel like there's not like scenes without him.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
maybe 2, 3. The only scenes without him are the scenes with the villains.
Yeah.
So yeah, I literally just thought about that at the top of my head right now. Yeah, so mine's gonna have to be Doctor Strange.
Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of with you there. I'll pick Wong just because.
Just to be different.
Just to be different.
All right. So as we start every week of the show, we do a little bit of trivia. And when Rachel McAdams was startled by the mop falling and hitting the bucket and all that, that was genuinely her being scared because the mop accidentally fell on set. But she did that and then didn't break character. So the director was like, "Oh well, we have to keep that in the movie." That was awesome.
Oh, that's funny because
Yeah.
it made me laugh.
Yeah, me too. And then I was like, "Oh, I wonder if that was an accident." And then I'm just reading the trivia and I was like, "Oh, it's funny. It totally was." Because it seemed like she legit got scared. I was like, "That's either great acting or she really got
yeah,
scared."
I totally remember that, and I was like, "Oh, that's funny," and then I never even thought about it.
This movie was funnier than I remembered it being. I
Yeah.
remembered it being a little funny, but there was a lot of times that I was like, "Wow, this is really funny."
Yeah, he was funny. He was a dick too.
Which is I like that because a lot of movies where the character is supposed to be a dick, they kind of steer clear of that because they're like, "Oh no, the main character's got to be likable." But I like that he starts out like a complete asshole
see,
and then ends still kind of an asshole, but not so much.
yeah, well,
Like
yeah,
he ends a lot better than he began, which I really like.
yeah, and he's a complete asshole in the beginning, but I still liked him.
Yeah, no, he's
Yeah.
a likable. He's like one of those guys that's like he's a dickhead, but he also seems like
I
a
still,
cool person to hang out with.
it could be the worst scene in the Marvel universe. When he wakes up and all those things are in his hands, oh, it makes me cringe every time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know why.
Oh, I like that scene too, because then she's talking to him and she's like, they did their best and all this shit, and he's like, well, I could have done better.
Yeah, well then you shouldn't drive off the cliff. That's the thing he forgets.
Well, it's not his fault he hit that other car and
Oh,
flipped 17,000 times into a river.
It was his time. It was his fault. He was looking
Yeah.
at his phone.
So this next one, I picked this next trivia specifically for you.
Oh, cool.
So according to James Gunn, the Stan Lee cameo in this movie was one of 4 cameos he filmed in the same day.
Oh, really?
He filmed this one, he filmed Guardian of the Galaxy Volume 2s, and the next 2 films either haven't come out yet or he wouldn't say what their names were. But he's filmed all 4 of those in the same exact day.
I don't remember the cameo.
Oh, well, then you'll be pleasantly surprised when we get to it. Because this is the one, because I usually am the one that remembers all the Stan Lee cameos. This is the one, it happened, I was like, oh, this is his? I totally forgot that what it was.
Yeah,
It's very, very forgettable. It's in the middle of an action scene.
I remember thinking, well, there's the fucking Stan Lee cameo, but I can't remember where it was.
But, all right, so we'll just jump right into the movie, and we'll get there in a little bit.
Before you
what?
start, I do want to say, did you notice the doctor that, he kind of makes fun of in the beginning? Did you recognize him?
I don't remember what the guy looked like, so no.
I think his name was Nick, too. I might have made that up.
Mm-hmm.
He's the one that, called that guy dead, and then...
Yeah, I remember the scene. I just don't know what he looked like.
So he's the guy. He was the doctor in Shape of Water.
Oh, really?
And the father in Call Me by Your Name.
Oh.
But I recognize him from Boardwalk Empire because he was
No, yeah, I didn't even catch that.
Yeah,
Oh.
so I was gonna pick him as my favorite, but he literally
He's
did
in just
nothing.
that scene, right?
Well, he goes to get like the chips out of the thing.
Oh, yeah,
yeah,
he's in
but-
that again, yeah. But sorry, we got Doctor Strange, directed by Scott Derrickson. The budget was 165 million, and the box office made 677.7 million dollars.
Wow, I didn't think it made that much money.
I think this is the first like movie because like since Iron Man 3, they've kind of made it a little bit lower each
Yeah.
time. Kind of seems like.
Except
and,
Avengers.
and Avengers and like Guardians did
And
good
Civil.
into Civil War, but like the new ones have kind of done shitty in a way. Not shitty, but not as good as they like started out being. I think this is the first one they start picking back up again.
Oh,
I mean, still not saying they do bad. It's just
Right.
they're starting to get higher again.
compared to themselves.
Yeah. So this is the first Marvel movie with the brand new MCU logo or the intro.
I did notice
Did you notice?
that.
Yeah. I was actually waiting. I was trying to remember. I thought it was Civil War that had that, and I was like, oh no, maybe it's Guardians. I was like, oh no, it's Doctor Strange.
Well, it's funny when it started. I thought, oh, this is different. And I'm like, oh, I hope it wasn't different last time. And I didn't notice
That's funny.
because
No,
I might not notice shit like that. Like I'll notice an
Oh.
actor, but I won't notice something like
like
that.
if they change the intro or whatever.
yeah.
But so alright. So the opening of the movie starts with, and I just gotta say it right now, I'm gonna 1000% butcher his name this entire movie.
Okay.
A lot of names in this are weird. So some of them I either just skipped over their name or yeah. So it's Caecilius or however you say the guy's name, Caecilius,
Oh.
Caecilius, the bad guy.
This guy.
Yeah, him. AKA Mads Mikkelsen cuts a dude's head off in the library, rips a page out of the book, and then is chased out by the Ancient One. I thought that was a pretty cool opening to a movie.
Jesus.
As I almost knocked down the table.
Uh,
But I really like that opening because it shows you right off the bat who's the bad guy, what their powers can do, and shit like that. It just kind of throws you into it.
Yeah, I thought he was a really good bad guy.
Yeah, I liked him. I liked him more in this than I did in Rogue One. In Rogue One, it almost seemed like he was kind of phoning it in a little bit.
Yeah.
But in this, like, it seemed like he legit
Didn't
wanted
they
to
come
do
out
the
like
movie.
right at the same time?
Yeah, they're the same year at least.
Yeah.
Pretty close together, yeah. And he was a villain in both, kind of. Well, he's not really a villain in Rogue One, but he made the Death Stars in a way he is.
Right.
But so then after that, we get Doctor Strange doing surgery while listening and playing a game to each song and like doing trivia when they came out.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
That was one of the scenes that I forgot about, and I was like, oh yeah, that's fun. Like that was like
Yeah.
kind of a cool thing. I wouldn't want him doing that to me. If he was
Unli-
doing surgery on me, but
Well, yeah, I mean, he's just kind of like occupying his time. when he's
Yeah.
But unlike Hess, I like Benedict Cumberbatch.
no, yeah, I really like him too.
Yeah.
Especially 'cause, like I watched Sherlock and things like that. What I really like about this movie, which I think puts it more up in my top, is that like there's that one scene where he says that like when he chose to be a doctor or whatever, he said he's never gonna hurt anybody. So with that, it reminds me a lot of Doctor Who in a way, 'cause that's what Doctor Who does.
Oh, really?
So and like he's got like powers and stuff like that, and like he reminded me of that. This is like his big comic book movie version of Doctor Who in a way. And
That
that-
goes right over my head.
Yeah, that was one of the things I liked about it. But so he does that, and then Christine shows up and she gives him a tablet and says that like, hey, there's this dude, and he was just pronounced dead, but he's got a bullet in his skull. And then he ends up performing the surgery by hand or whatever. I forget the exact terms they use.
Yeah.
Freehand, and goes in there and just pulls the bullet right out.
Yeah. And then makes fun of the guy from Boardwalk Empire.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, the guy
she's
said
like,
something.
"You don't
Like,
have to be a
it's not
dickhead."
time for games, and he goes, "Oh, it was when you called the wrong time of death, huh?"
Yeah.
I like that because he's a dickhead and like he's cocky, but he's also very good at his job, which makes it almost like he kind of deserves to be.
Well, yeah, like you can't say too much.
It's
'cause
like
he's-
it's like when Tony Stark's cocky. You're like, oh well, he
Yeah.
literally can build anything, so he has the right to be. He's the smartest guy in the room half the time.
yeah.
While discussing new patients with Billy, Doctor Strange gets into a car accident that probably should have killed him.
Yes.
That was a very bad accident. It's so gross too, because you said that one scene makes you cringe when he wakes up.
Yeah.
When his hands go into the dashboard,
Yeah.
that just looks terrible.
I remember watching it in the theater when we went to go see it.
I remember being loud as fuck and scared the shit out of me.
Yeah, and even on my watching it now, it's just like both times. Like that's the one thing I remembered from the movie, like that sticks out is that car crash. It's just
Oh,
like,
really?
yeah.
It reminds me a lot of in the beginning of Cloverfield. Like it's kind of silent and like you hear like a little 10 Cloverfield Lane, and you hear some music, and then the girl's driving down the street, and then all of a sudden she gets in a huge accident, and it's the loudest fucking thing in the movie. It makes everybody jump.
oh really?
And it reminds me a lot of that.
When she was driving down the street, was she in a 6'4"?
No, but she was talking to Bradley Cooper.
Rocket?
Yeah,
Hmm.
he like she's listening to a voicemail or whatever from him, and then gets into a car accident. I remember after the movie, we saw it, we're like, oh, that was him. Like, it sounded nothing like him, but neither does Rocket, so he's good at voices apparently. So then after that, he wakes up in the scene that you say is very cringy, and Christine tells him all about his injuries and says no one could have done better. And he turns over to her and goes, I could have.
See, now that's the problem. Now he's still a
It-
dick, but now he doesn't have.
Yeah,
no right
and then
to
he
be.
starts getting obsessed with fixing his hands, and it's almost like sad.
Yeah, kinda.
And he's just constantly doing all this stuff. He spends all his money trying to fix himself and all that. And then eventually he's in rehab, and he tells the guy, have you ever seen anybody recover from this much nerve damage? And the guy's like, yeah, actually, there's a guy with back injury and all this shit, and now he's walking. I saw him walking down the street the other day. So then Dr. Strange's like, oh, give me his file. He's like, if it'll shut up your arrogant ass, sure. It'll take me forever, but I got it. So he does that.
Yeah, I like that. That was funny. The guy
Yeah.
was like, I'll do anything to shut you up.
So then Doctor Strange and Christine fight at his apartment. He leaves his apartment after he gets the paperwork from the guy in the back injury. He goes down to the basketball court, and the guy tells him the place you're looking for is Kamartaj. So then Doctor Strange gets jumped in an alley while looking for Kamartaj for his watch, and is saved by Mordo.
And that was kind of sad, too.
Yeah, he's like, that's the only thing I got left, and they're just kicking his ass. And then later you see it's the watch from Christine.
Yeah. Didn't he punched him first?
Yeah, which, oh boy, that had to have hurt.
I was like, why not kick him?
What's funny is like, because like he's got nerve damage in his hand in this, and then you got Arrow on the other hand that we're watching, and Diggle has the nerve damage
Yeah.
stuff. And I was like, oh wow, I feel like they portrayed it way better in this.
Yeah.
I mean, they have a lot more time, but I was like, oh, like I felt like even just his acting in this was way better than how they had Diggle do his nerve damage shit. He didn't start buying drugs from, and literally every episode, that's all he does. Or he goes to aim a gun and he's like, that's real bad. So once Doctor Strange gets inside, he basically calls the Ancient One out, and she sends him on a spiritual out-of-body journey into his astral form.
And then kicks him out.
Yeah, she kicks him out, and then he's waiting outside like it's Fight Club. And then 5 days later, they let him in.
And he turns into Jared Leto.
Yeah, gets his ass beat up. And that part when he's waiting outside there, and like it's been 5 days. I was like, what is this, Fight Club?
I never thought about that. That's funny.
And like, what's his face is gonna come out there in a Death Smoochie costume and like start yelling at him.
I like the Agent One.
Yeah, I really liked her in this too. Yeah, I remember in the theater, I was like, oh fuck, she died, like, because it was always badass. Like they'd be like in like trouble or whatever, and she'd show up and save them, like in the opening and that fight scene. Yeah, I really liked her.
Didn't you say she's like she's not white in the comics?
Yeah, in the comics, she's. I don't want to. I just watched a video. It was the writer. It was the writer of the movie, and he was talking about it. He's like, it was a lose-lose situation for us either way, because the specific race the guy is in, the people in China or wherever. The China's where movies are huge, right?
What?
China's where movies are like huge, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was saying people in China, like hate that race or whatever. So if they did it that race, people in China might not want to watch the movie, which would make them lose a lot of money. But if they cast it as a white man, like either way they did it, they were gonna be kind of fucked. So then they did that, and like he's like, people were suggesting me all these names, like they're like suggesting Chinese actresses or Chinese actors to use, and he's like, I would love to do a movie with them, but if you think I'm gonna cast a Chinese actor for this race, you're fucking out of your mind. You know what you're talking about. Like he basically was saying that there wasn't any way for them to do it, and it was kind of, he said it was a racist stereotype in the comics. Like a white man goes to China, learns from them, and all that stuff. He's like, it's basically like the Dark Knight all over again, or Batman Begins. So he's like, we just wanted to do it this way. And I actually like it better it being her, especially when he walks in and he assumes it was that one dude.
Yeah.
And then she's like, oh, no, yeah, there you go. I like too when he's freaking out. He's like, what's in this tea? Is it DMT? Like, what is it? She's like, it's just tea. A little bit of honey.
Yeah.
So is there, oh, yeah, he does that. So then Caecilius and his crew summon Dormammu. And then the Ancient One brings Doctor Strange to Mount Everest to teach him how to, like, release control and use his powers, and kind of almost kills him. But then he finally makes his way through. I like that scene, too. That she just, like, strands him out there, and she's like, oh, yeah, he'll figure it out.
Yeah, and then, what's the black dude's name?
Mordo?
He's like, oh, God.
Yeah, I know.
Like she's done it before.
Yeah, it seemed like he's like, I remember this one happened to me.
Yeah.
I like him, too, in this, because especially because in the comics, he's, like, a Doctor Strange villain. So I like that they had him be like the good guy in this, and at the end team up to be the villain.
I remember you telling me that you said like people were mad because he wasn't a
Yeah, well,
villain.
I think people were confused, and then after watching the movie, they were like, "Oh, so he'll be Doctor Strange 2 villain," which they haven't said or anything. But I would be happy with him being the villain.
Yeah, I mean,
He kind of reminded me. He was like the roadie to Doctor
yeah,
Strange in this, which I really
that's
liked.
racist.
Well, no,
I'm
they
just
very
kidding.
similar. They give everybody their little sidekick.
Um, yeah, I liked him, and he kind of had a point, you know.
Oh yeah, totally.
So
And then so after that, yeah, I kind of skipped over his training a little bit because there wasn't a lot to talk about with that. He's doing shit or whatever. He's reading books and stuff. But then he keeps talking to Wong, and then we get one funny thing because he calls Wong. I think he calls him Lord, and at one point he makes a Beyonce joke. So then we get a scene of him listening to Beyonce
yeah, that was
while Doctor Strange is stealing books from him.
yeah, that was funny.
Maybe it was Adele he called him, not Lord.
He called
He called him a lot of
he
stuff.
called him Adele, called him Eminem.
Oh really?
Yeah,
I don't remember the Eminem part.
I think Eminem was the last one.
So in this part, this really has nothing to do with the movie, but then again it does. But I could be wrong, but I feel like Doctor Strange has to play a huge part in Infinity War because he's got the mirror dimension, he's got time travel, like everything he's learned in this movie. I feel like it'd be hard for them not to use that in a major rated stop Thanos and his
Yeah.
crew. Especially
No,
because like that part where he's like keeps redoing time over and over and over again with
that
Dormammu.
could be the biggest dickish way to win a fight.
Just keep reliving it over and
He
over.
annoyed the guy to death.
Yeah. What's funny is I guess there's a deleted scene which I would have actually liked if they did this in the movie because then again that would remind me of like a Doctor Who thing to do because you know how Dormammu's like, well, I'm just gonna kill you over and over again, and he's like, well, at least Earth will be saved. And there was one line when he comes back and he's like, we've been doing this for like 1,000 times. And so then finally that's when Dormammu like is over it. So like because in the movie it just looks like he died like 20 times, but they wanted it to seem like he was doing that for like months or whatever.
Oh, see, I got the impression that he was doing it for a long time.
Yeah, well, like I think that's why they just cut the line because other people get it. But I think it would have been cool to hear him say that. But I like
yeah,
that.
I don't think it was necessary, but I get what you're saying.
Like I think that Dormammu scene is one of my favorite in the movie. Because it just looks so cool and like they do really well at like space look stuff. Because in some movies they can make it look real stupid, but I feel like with Guardians and this they make that look real good.
Well, that's what it reminded me of Guardians too, where it's got this giant face, and I'm like, and I'm not into that stuff. So like I see this face and I'm like, what the fuck is this? But then like he shows up and then he's like Dormammu, and then he shows up again and dips it. And I was like, oh yeah, I remember this now, and I just accepted it more this time. You know what I mean?
I can't remember if he did the voice or the face capture or both. But I know he did something for Dormammu, so it was him and him basically by like him doing both of those.
Oh really?
I can't remember which one. It might have just been the face and someone else did the voice, but I know he was involved in that process.
Oh, that's interesting.
So yeah, and then I remember in that beginning when he's like when she sends him on that crazy journey, he's like flying through all kinds of shit and all his hands are grabbing him and all that.
Oh yeah, that was creepy.
When he was going past a planet for a split second, I was like, oh, did they show Ego in this? Because that'd have been kind of a cool Easter egg, and then they didn't. It was just a planet, but I was like, oh, that'd have been a cool little Easter egg if they did that.
Yeah, that
Since the
would've
next
been.
movie's Guardians, that'd have been pretty
Right.
cool. But yeah, so do you think he's gonna be a big role in Infinity War?
Yeah, I would think so. Is he in? He's not in Thor, is he?
No, I think I think yeah, he is. Because when I looked up the trivia for this, I was gonna write it down, but I didn't think it was necessary.
Mhm.
This scene at the end of this, kind of like with Ant-Man at the end credit scene and going into Civil War, it's just a longer version of his scene in Ragnarok.
Oh, okay.
So
Well, I was hoping.
yeah,
Which
because I think he was spotted on set too for that movie.
I feel stupid that we haven't seen it yet, but
Yeah, me too. Well, because we were literally we were going to, but then like
then we
Fi-
start doing
15 weeks ago, we're like, well, I guess we can't now because we're starting this. There's no point to watch it and then in 10 weeks
Yeah.
watch it again.
that. Right.
Especially because like it'd almost be cooler
I think
for us to have our first reactions again on here.
I
for
think
it.
we'll like it more.
I feel like we will too because it's been building up. Like literally, we've talked about it 15 weeks in a row.
Yeah, almost.
It's come up so much,
Yeah.
which is weird because like it's not like Thor's in every one of these movies, but.
Right.
But yeah, that's the one of these that I've been looking forward to the most because it's like I know nothing about it really.
Yeah.
So
well,
it'd be
because
interesting.
we're avoiding it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So where was I?
Oh, you're right next to me.
No, there's my Avengers part. Where was I? Oh yeah, right here. Okay. Doctor Strange finds the Eye of Agamotto, learns how to use it, and then ends up bringing the pages back from the book from the beginning of the movie. And then he gets yelled at a bunch by people. And then Wong shows Doctor Strange all the sanctums around the world and tells him that while the Avengers are protecting the world, we're protecting the spirit realm and all this shit. And then meanwhile, right when they're doing that, all the sanctums get attacked. Fucking one dude gets blown up. Doctor Strange gets sent into the New York sanctum. And then we get a really, really cool fight scene with Doctor Strange. He gets his cape, and then he ends up handcuffing Caecilius with that weird little...
Yeah, that was
I don't even know what to call it, but the thing on the wall, he sends it to him, and like doing the robot almost, and then gets stuck. That was really cool.
His cape could be one of my favorite people too.
Yeah, his cape was really cool.
I didn't know his cape going into the first time that his cape like had a personality.
Well, I guess in the comics, it's like it has a little bit like it's a little sentient, but then I guess with the movie they just made it full on like.
Oh really?
Aware
That's
and
not
everything.
okay.
So I don't know if it's that much in the comics.
Right.
Which I did look up. I didn't want to read it because like it wasn't really about Doctor Strange. There's a comic prelude to this movie as well, and it's about a bunch of the other people like Wong and like all the other protectors of each sanctum, which I guess they're gonna have a bigger role in the movie. And then one thing that I found interesting, which kind of makes me think at least The Runaways on Hulu isn't connected to this universe, is one of the girls' moms from that was a protector of the sanctum, and like you seen the trailer for that, right? Where they have that like weird little spear and circle thing, and like that's kind of like the one of the people in the show's relic.
No, but I can picture it.
One of the girls has that, and it's like that girl's mom. So either they just recast it because they ended up not showing it in the movie.
Right.
But it was about each of them, so like Wong's in the comic and all that. But since it wasn't really about Doctor Strange, I didn't feel like reading it.
Makes sense.
So yeah, we get that really cool fight scene, and then Caecilius gives Doctor Strange basically the Emperor and Anakin speech, like, "No, you want to be with Dormammu," and all this, and like,
Yeah, no, it
just
was
totally tries to bring him to the dark side.
There's a lot of stuff that reminded me of Star Wars, but then again, I mean,
Most sci-fi things are gonna have an element like that.
yeah, where there's a good and a bad, and there's
Yeah.
yeah.
So then he ends up getting stabbed by one of Caecilius's men. His cape fights the guy, and then he goes to Christine for help. I thought that was pretty cool. Like his first person he thinks to go to get help with her. And then while
she's the only one that can put up with him.
Yeah, and then while she's operating on him, he goes into his astral body and starts to help her. And then he ends up having to fight a guy in his astral body.
That was cool too.
Yeah. See, that's one thing I like about this movie is like the little fight scenes like that, and like him going in his astral body and all that. Like it was so different. It's one of the same reasons I like Ant-Man, because it just gives us so many different scenes than like instead of like, oh, the guy puts on a suit and goes and fights another dude that doesn't like him or whatever.
Right. I told you this before. If you take out the beginning Marvel new thing that they did.
Yeah, the new logo.
And you take out Thor's
cameo
at the end, I would have no idea this is a Marvel
Well,
movie.
they do mention the Avengers and then the Infinity Stones.
Infinity Stone, yeah.
But for the most part, this could just be like a sci-fi magic movie.
Yeah, totally.
But which I like too. I think it's cool.
I don't think anyone would probably go see it.
When you can't. Yeah, no,
you know
probably
what I mean?
not. Well, maybe they would, because if it was still Benedict Cumberbatch, possibly.
Oh, maybe.
But yeah, I do agree with you that this is by far, I think, the most standalone movie we've had in a while.
Yeah.
Because I mean, literally the only cameo in this is from from another movie, Thor.
And it's an after credit.
Yeah. So then Doctor Strange and Mordo argue about killing or not killing people, and then while they're arguing about that, the Sanctum gets attacked. They're running through the mirror dimension, and then we get our 14th Stan Lee cameo. They fall onto a bus as the world's turning in on itself, and he goes, "That is so funny."
That is hilarious.
Yeah, that was a bad one.
Yeah, that's it. Like, you can tell he filmed that one day. I think I realize that's the one thing that bugs me the most about these Stan Lee cameos, is there's like no effort put into them. It's just like, oh, we have to throw them in here.
Yeah, like the FedEx one was kind of funny.
Yeah, like that had some. I mean, it was okay. That had some stuff put into it.
Yeah.
But
yeah, this one was typical.
Like I like the one in Guardians 2 when he's on the other, because they show him twice there. Like he's talking about all his other roles he's played on Earth. That one, I mean, he filmed that the same day.
Yeah.
But like they put a little bit of effort in it. But for the most part, it's like him sitting in a classroom going, "Oh, hey, Spider Friend."
Yeah.
So then after our Stan Lee cameo, the Ancient One saves Doctor Strange from Caecilius, but ends up getting stabbed and falls through the mirror dimension into New York on the floor, and then they bring her to Christine to be operated on.
Wow, I didn't realize. Yeah, I did. I forgot that she died. Actually,
I did too, and then I was like, oh, maybe. And then as she went and saved them, I was like, oh yeah, she saves them, and then falls down and dies. Which I forgot to look up why. I remember there being a reason because I remember noticing it in the theaters when her and because after she is getting operated on, she leaves her body, and her and Doctor Strange are talking outside.
she tells him
She-
not to go
she-
face Vader.
Yeah, basically, and they're doing that. But when they turn when the camera's like right on her face, you would 100% tell she wasn't there to film that because she looks kind of like Princess Leia does at the end of Rogue One.
Oh, really?
Like it looks real bad, and I forgot to look up why. I remember there being a reason why going into the movie, like she's doing something else or whatever, but like it's totally CGI her in that moment.
The moment when they're like when they both left.
Yeah, when she like and you see like the lightning bolt slowly going in the background. They're like talking on like the balcony of the hospital.
See, I just thought it was because she was in.
Well, like when they look at him, he looks fine, but it's and they like from the sides, it's normal. Like it's almost like they filmed it and they used the same audio from the sides, but just something happened like to the front camera or whatever, and like he could be there for reshoots, but she couldn't or something, because she's just 100% CGI, and they only show up for like a couple seconds because it
I
looks so
noticed
bad
that she looked weird, but I just thought it was because she was.
in that form or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe they kind of did it on purpose to show her dying, and I don't know, but it looked real bad to me. I noticed it this time and in theaters.
That's interesting.
So yeah, so then she ends up dying, and then Doctor Strange and I was gonna say they have a chat, but she just died. So
He's like, hey, damn it.
so yeah, she dies, and then Caecilius attacks Hong Kong Sanctum, and then Doctor Strange and Mordo show up, and we get that really really cool rewind scene. That actually, I take it back. I think that's probably my favorite, and then the Mordo one's my second favorite. Just everything rewinding.
Yeah, that was cool.
I remember watching, they do special effects videos of these movies like months after they come out, and I remember watching the video of that where they talk about it, and they filmed that scene like 4 times because they filmed everybody going forwards, everybody going backwards, and then like they rewind the scene. So like there'll be clips of it rewinding, but then they'll have the normal scene of Doctor Strange walking in normal, like so many layers onto it
That's weird.
that like it took them forever probably to do
I think the
that.
thing I liked about that the most is that like some people were like getting in the way of shit. Like
Yeah, like that one
getting
girl
back-
falls and gets pushed into the fish tank by accident.
Yeah.
Or when Caecilius gets pushed into the wall.
And you know what I was thinking the whole time?
But
I wonder if Doctor Strange could like save Barry's mom.
yeah, but if he did, it would cause it'd cause Doctor Strange point.
Yeah, but would it? Because none of this is causing. They kind of mentioned that.
Yeah, they said he could. You know what? I forgot to mention too in my notes, which I find very interesting, and hopefully this plays a big part in Avengers 4 or whatever, because you know there's rumors it's time travel and all that. They mentioned the multiverse so many times in this movie that I hope at least in this next phase of movies we get, Phase 4, we get some multiverse stuff, because I feel like they would pull it off so well. Like you go and see like an Earth 2 Cap or whatever. I feel like that's how you could bring back anybody that's died that you want to do it again, or like different versions of your villains to make them more comic booky or however you want to do.
Yeah, I mean maybe.
Because I also think it'd be really cool, especially because everybody's like, all the Spider-Man movies are all the same. We've had 17 in the past 2 years.
Yeah.
To make those different, it'd be so awesome. I think if they did Enter the Spider-Verse. I know they're doing the animated movie Enter the Spider-Verse, but if they did a thing like that in the movies, because then you could do like Spider-Gwen and Spider-Man 2099, and you could bring Miles Morales into it.
Yeah.
I feel like that'd be very neat.
I think they're kind of afraid to do stuff like that because they might lose some of like
See, but
the average people like me that don't know all that shit.
So I think that because they said they're gonna get more cosmic and shit, and I think that's why they're slowly making these more weird, like this movie, Guardians 2, all this stuff. They're slowly making them kind of more strange, and I think them.
No pun intended.
Yeah, and I don't know this. This is just kind of my theory a little bit. They're making it more weird because I feel like with how many comic book TV shows are on TV right now, and like Flash doing multiple Earths, it's becoming more common to do strange things from comic books.
Yeah.
So I feel like they're like, okay, well, if people on TV are open to it, they'll probably be open to it in the movies.
Yeah.
And like after you watch Infinity War and a giant plum from space comes and fights everybody, people are gonna be like, okay, well, you know, if they go to another Earth and fucking there's a different Captain America, that's not as weird.
Yeah, I guess it just depends how they do it too.
Yeah, because I feel it'd be cheesy. I think if Phase 4 is all multiverse, but I feel like if there was like like if they did something with Doctor Strange, did something with Spider-Man, or however they wanted to do it, like
Yeah.
like the characters that have done that in the comics, because then it would make sense. I feel like it'd be cool.
Do you like so like if there's a different Captain America, do you think it's played by Chris Evans or do you think it's played by somebody else?
See, that's what they could do too. They could bring say in like 3-4 years, he's like, oh, I'll do a cameo in a movie. They could do that, or they could be like, oh, in Earth 3, it's Bucky, or in Earth 3, it's Falcon, or it's Peggy, or that's how
Or someone new.
yeah, or that's how you could bring Agent Carter, or it's someone completely new that wasn't made Captain America till like 2010, or what, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? I feel like they could have so much fun with it.
Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know if I'm 100% on board like you, but yeah.
Because like I'm saying, I don't want that every single movie, but like if you did like just one movie like that in the next phase, I think it'd be cool, especially for how many different like Ant-Man, they're bringing up the microverses, I mean the multiverse.
Yeah. I think it'd be cooler if like they pulled like a Captain America, just say from another universe.
Yeah, it'd almost be cooler if they waited to do it for Avengers.
But then they do it like it's just not. It's just like someone we don't know that's Captain America or something.
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
kind of like on Flash, like we got Earth 2, it's Jay Garrick, and then Earth 3, it's Jesse, or
Yeah,
however
yeah.
you want to do it or whatever.
Yeah.
I accidentally flipped those Earths.
How dare you?
So yeah, so they're doing that rewind scene, and then Doctor Strange flies up to Dormammu and just constantly keeps repeating his death over and over and over and over again.
You know what would have been good? What they should have added before, like he goes up there.
What?
When they were rewinding it, they should have had KRS-One going rewind.
Wow.
You don't think so?
You know that I just remember because you brought up a song. This whole movie, every time they brought up like, oh, we're in the dark dimension or this dimension, whatever. I was actually gonna play this for the intro and I forgot to. Every time they would say that, I think it'd be Beastie Boys going, another dimension, another like every time they brought it up, I was constantly singing that.
That's funny because the other day I was hiking and that song came up.
And you're like, oh, I'm in Doctor Strange.
And no, and then like another dimension. I go fucking Jerome.
Oh,
'Cause I just-
really?
Yeah, because I just thought you thinking about stupid dimensions.
That's funny. So then after he does all that, and Dormammu is like, okay, yeah, we're gonna make a deal. I'll leave, and then he takes Caecilius and all that. So then after defeating Caecilius, Doctor Strange finally makes Wong laugh, which I actually really like that part. He's like,
I don't remember what he said.
he goes, you might want to read the whole book next time instead of a couple pages because the warning's at the end. And then he goes, oh, that's pretty funny.
You know, you can't put the warning at the end. That's stupid.
I like he says he's reading it when he's doing the time thing, and he's like, you might want to put that in the beginning. Like, what the hell?
Part of me does think that the bad guy, what's his name?
Caecilius, I think. I'm
No,
probably saying
the
it wrong.
big purple
Oh,
guy.
Dormammu.
It almost felt like he gave up too easily, but then he was stuck there. So like, and we don't know how long that really lasted. Like you said.
Yeah.
So, but then I like how he's like, all right, fine, I'll just take the other guys too, and he's just like fucking yanks him
Yeah.
out of there. That was-
It'll be interesting if we ever see him again in anything.
You mean like some other movie?
Yeah, like if I'm watching like Dirty Dancing 5 and he shows up,
Yeah, that'd be weird.
it would be. He's like, I am Oh fuck, sorry,
Nobody
wrong
puts
set.
Darmon.
Nobody puts Dormammu in the corner.
For some reason, I can't remember that fucker's name.
So then after that, we get a couple end credit scenes. We got Thor asking for help to find his dad, which we'll get to see the rest of that in
So-
Thor Ragnarok.
I don't know why I like that so much.
That he's gonna be in Ragnarok.
No, just the end credits.
That scene, yeah, and the Thor just keeps getting his beer refilled and all that.
Yeah, and he's like,
There is a deleted scene which it might just be a different version of this, or I don't know. It said it was from this movie, but I find it would be odd if you had that scene in the movie and then had this scene at the end. But Thor's there, and like Doctor Strange plucks a piece of his hair out, and he does all this stuff and shows him a map, and he's like, "Oh, that's where your dad is." So there
Oh.
was a deleted scene that was from the movie, but I feel like they cut that to purposely do this end credit scene.
Is his dad in Westworld?
Oh, that'd be funny. And he goes and finds him. He just finds the little boy that looks like his dad.
His face opens up.
He's like, "Hey, Bernard, you're not cuddling with that girl. I think
It's
you're a
whole
host."
Crossover.
But then after that end credit, that's the only. Oh no, no.
You know what? By the way, I watched the second episode of Westworld
When?
a couple days
Like
ago.
while you're hiking?
No, at the
Huh.
gym.
Mm-hmm.
Does it matter? Does it really matter where?
No, I was just wondering.
And Bernard totally cuddles with that lady. He's
Yeah,
like,
no, I
"Man,
was
that's
watching that.
Totally.
For those
normal."
of us who don't, for those people who don't know what we're talking about, we did a podcast about 2 years ago now, when Westworld was airing, and we did a lot of we got really into it. We had a bunch of theories on it and all that shit, and we had a friend Hess that was here,
We still have the friend.
and yeah, and that's true. No, he died. No,
You're like, we had
he
a
gets there and
friend.
he's like, "All right, guys, I got this theory. Bernard, I think he's a host," and we're like, and you were just like, oh fuck you, like whatever. And I was like, no, why? Like that's interesting to me. And he was, well, and this usually like Hess has these wild theories. Like, oh, that could be interesting. What? And it's not like, well, because in this scene, like he did this thing like all the other hosts do. He's like, well, he had sex with that girl, and then when they were done, that he didn't cuddle. And we were like, wait a minute. That's what you're basing this on? And then the fucked up part is he was right. Spoilers for Westworld, I guess. But
Yeah.
fucked up part is he was right.
But was he? I mean, he.
I mean, he was Bernard's a host, yeah.
but he,
But then again, Arnold wasn't, so.
see, the thing that gets me about that is that there is no indication that he was the host, and he.
See, me rewatching it, it seems like he is, but it could be just because I know he is.
Yeah, no, I'm rewatching and thinking he doesn't even know he's a fucking host.
Yeah. I remember that
I
scene.
don't even know why I brought that up.
That scene of Bernard being like, him realizing he's a host, like being told by Anthony Hopkins.
Yeah. Oh, that's why.
Yeah. That's such a cool scene, but it was so ruined for us because we were like, oh man, Hess is right. Fuck. Because it's such a cool scene. He's like, do it now, kill that bitch. And we're like, oh man, Hess is right. And you know he's home just like cheesing
Jerking
his
off.
whole way. God. So we get another scene of Mordo, and he goes up to the dude from that was on the basketball court that told Doctor Strange about Kamartaj, and he takes the magic out of him and leaves the guy all crippled on the floor and goes, I've realized something. There's too many sorcerers.
Yeah, that was fucked up.
Kinda, yeah.
Dude's just like,
Yeah, that was like that.
I don't like that actor, but you can't leave him in the fucking on the side of the.
Nobody puts basketball. Never mind. I can't
Wow.
talk. I was gonna say basketball. Never mind. I can't say basketball court. But yeah, I think that totally sets him up like to be the villain for
He's in a ton of
the
shit. I
second
can't
one.
think of his name.
The basketball guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. He looked familiar, but I couldn't tell you what he's
Fuck, I can't remember.
in. When we
his
look
name.
him up,
No, you don't. It's not that important. I've never liked him in anything. I don't think.
not even in this when he's playing basketball.
Not even in La Bamba.
He's in La Bamba.
Maybe.
Does he go la 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 Bamba?
Look it up now.
All right, give me
That's
a second.
Hess's favorite movie too. But no, I mean, just to leave that guy like that, that's fucked up. He wasn't hurting anybody.
Yeah, like literally, he was he's like, oh, tapping into dark magic's bad, but he was literally just tapping into dark magic so that way he could walk.
Yeah, like who cares?
And I didn't think it was even that bad that one chick was doing it just to live longer. Like it's not like she's hurting anybody. Do you know what his name is? Is his
If
name
you-
Benjamin Bratt? Is he Jonathan?
Yeah,
Okay. You want to know what else he's in?
yeah.
Okay.
Benjamin Bratt.
He's in Traffic.
Yeah.
He's in Star, Coco, Shot Caller, Modern Family, Doctor Strange, The Infiltrator, Special Correspondence, Ride Along 2, Justice League Gods and Monsters, Justice League Gods and Monsters
Oh.
Chronicles.
Right along, he was the bad guy in 2.
Oh, I think you're right. Yeah, he's in 24, Live Another Day, Super Nanny, Cloudy with the. Okay, I'm skipping the animated ones. He's in. Let me see. What else would you know he in?
I hated him long before.
L.A. Mission, Trucker, E-Ring, Catwoman, The Woodsman, Frasier. He's in one episode of Frasier. He's Kevin the Caller. Abandon, Pinero, After the Storm, Red Planet, Deleted Scenes, Miss Congeniality, Traffic, Red Planet, The Last Producer, The Next Best Thing.
He's in a lot of shit.
Yeah, he is. Follow Me Home, Texas, The River Wild. I don't see anything else that like I know 100%. He's in Nasty Boys.
Nasty.
I feel like that's a porno or
Can I
something.
see that?
He's in some porno named Nasty Boys.
That's it.
I gotta say, I didn't see La Bamba on there. So I think somebody made up
Ugh.
La Bamba.
Fucking, he was a goofy fucking cop in Demolition Man.
Oh, that was one of them I
He
skipped
was,
over.
He was like Sandra Bullock's like.
Is he really in La Bamba? Because I didn't see that on there.
No, I guess he's not.
I guess you're a liar.
I'm what?
A liar.
Um.
So do you want to watch the trailer for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2
You
now?
skipped over Clear and Present Danger too.
Oh, and we didn't say our thing either.
Yeah, go say yours.
So we're now at this point of the show where we have to rank our MCU movies, and then Nick judges me for it. My movie.
What?
You judged me last week.
I'm judging you this week, fucker.
My movies go. Best one: Captain America: Civil War, Guardians of the Galaxy, Doctor Strange, Avengers: Age of Ultron, Captain America: Winter Soldier, Avengers, Captain America: Black Panther, Ant-Man, Iron Man, Thor, Iron Man 3, Iron Man 2, Incredible Hulk, Thor: The Dark World.
I still can't believe you have Thor lower than Incredible Hulk. Thor 2.
Thor 2. I liked Incredible Hulk for the most part. I mean, it's a pretty shitty movie, but it also has Edward Norton in it and Liv Tyler, and I like both them. And then you also get to see that one dude turn into the villain from Green Lantern. Remember his head gets all fucking big for no reason whatsoever.
My list looks so much smaller than yours. I guess it's because it's on my phone. Okay, mine is Winter Soldier, Ant-Man, Guardians, Avengers, Captain America, Iron Man, Black Panther, Thor, Doctor Strange, Avengers 2, Iron Man 2, Thor 2, Iron Man 3, and then the Incredible Hulk.
Wow, so you have Doctor Strange under Thor. What number is that on your list?
9th.
Wow, yours is 9th and mine's 3rd.
I liked it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I
But-
would have it in the like. There's only the two I would consider not liking would be Incredible Hulk and Iron Man 3.
All right. Oh, okay. I like that we have we kind of have two different ones that we don't like. I like that.
Yeah. I would say if you cut a line there, the rest of them I'm like, yeah, if they're on, I'd watch them. Those I'm like, yeah, I don't want.
See, I would watch in my list. I'd watch any of the movies if they were on, except for Thor: The Dark World. That's the one that I'd be like, no, I'm not. watching
Even
that.
Incredible Hulk, you'd watch that again.
If it was on TV, I'd be like, yeah, sure, I'll watch it. I'd probably play on my phone a little bit, but I would watch it.
I don't think I would.
Oh really?
Yeah, I mean, because even
Because it's not that long, and I don't know. Like I said, it's got Edward Norton and Liv Tyler in it. I mean, it's still not. It's not the best movie. Like I wouldn't be excited that it's on. But I'd be like, oh, I'll watch that.
But this movie that we just watched, Doctor Strange, it was good. I enjoyed it. I liked it, but I didn't think it was like special.
It was it was definitely geared more towards my group of people than your group of people.
What's your group of people?
People that like love Flash, love Doctor Who,
I like Flash.
stuff like that. Yeah, but you don't love Flash.
Yeah, it's up there.
But
mean,
I love when stuff gets really weird, like he gets out of his body or time travels and shit like that.
Yeah, it was.
And sometimes for you, when they do it too much, you're like, okay, I've had enough.
Yeah,
But like I really really like stuff like that. So like I feel like it was set up for me to like more than you. They had me in mind writing the movie.
you think so?
Yeah, they're like
this fucker's gonna
like,
love
oh,
this.
I've seen Jerome talk about Flash once. He'll love this movie.
Is there a reverse Doctor Strange?
I don't know, but there should be. So I think as of right now, I'm making a prediction of what my list is gonna be like by the end. I'm just gonna say like my top 4. It'll be Civil War, Spider-Man: Homecoming, Guardians of the Galaxy, Doctor Strange, and then
See, you can't do that because you haven't seen Thor.
See, and I guess I haven't seen Thor Ragnarok. So I'll say my top 3. I guess it'll be Captain America, Civil War, Guardians of the Galaxy, and Spider-Man: Homecoming. Will be my top 3. I think as of right now, not seeing Thor Ragnarok, that could replace Guardians of the Galaxy 1 for me.
I don't think. I liked Spider-Man, but I don't think it's gonna be in my top 3.
Spider-Man is right up there with Civil War for me. I really like that movie.
I'll be happy when we rewatch it.
Yeah, because it's got. I mean, not just like the cast is everything, but I really really like Spider-Man in it. He's one of my. Like I said,
I like him.
he's my favorite Marvel superhero. We got Donald Glover in it. We got Nacho in it.
forgot Nacho
what's
was
the
in
bad guy? Michael Keaton.
Never heard of him.
Like that scene of Michael Keaton and him in the car is one of the best scenes in the MCU. I feel like, and it's not even like a superhero scene. It's just them talking.
Yeah, that was good.
Like I really really like that movie.
I still don't think it'll be in my top 3. But maybe. I don't know. I've only seen it once. How many times have you seen it?
I've only seen it the one time in theaters. Yeah.
And you like it? You're saying.
Well, could we don't own it, so I'd watch it again.
Hmm.
But yeah, but anybody, I don't know if we talked about it on here, but we probably should have mentioned this before. But if you want to watch Guardians of the Galaxy with us next week, that's on Netflix. And then if you have Stars, and you can download the Stars app on Xbox, Apple TV, whatever. Spider-Man: Homecoming is on there too, so you can watch that with us the following week.
Yeah,
And then after that, you have to buy the movies. I mean, there's only like 2 left after that, but.
Yeah. Well, let's watch the Guardians 2 thing.
All right, will you set the pops over there?
Yeah.
I've learned full throttles make me like very gassy.
But
Farting and
What a rock star.
Did I call it a full throttle?
Yeah.
I meant a rock star. All right, I should turn this up. Last week, we were right in the beginning of it, and you're like, are we going to get to hear the trailer, or do we just watch it and then we do voiceovers for them?
I did not say that.
Yeah, my name's Nick. I wear dogs on my shirt.
I got 11 reasons to hate your shirt.
Oh, get it? Because it's Stranger Things in 11?
No, I don't get it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are watching the Guardians of the Galaxy
Guardians of the Gorillas.
Guardians of the Galaxy trailer. We're hitting play right
Two.
now.
Dos.
Oh, we should watch it in Spanish. Hello, I am Star-Lord. I feel like that's a little
Come
racist.
from Earth, a planet of outlaws. My name is Peter Quill. There's one other name you might know me by. Star-Lord.
Did I still get the Guardians of the Galaxy 1 trailer?
Legendary outlaw?
Yep.
Guys?
I was like, I don't remember him being in 2. You're fucking retarded.
So,
Then you spit me.
before this podcast started, I almost accidentally
It
looked.
says right there on top.
Yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy
'cause-
trailer.
No, let me explain. I clicked on Guardians of the Galaxy trailer 1. And I was like, oh, hi, I almost accidentally played the Guardians of the Galaxy trailer. That would have been stupid. And then I clicked on Guardians of the Galaxy trailer 2.
Or also.
Now I forgot to type in volume 2, but now we got it. So I got the teaser trailer. Let me get this back up a little bit. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, now we are really gonna
Everyone
watch.
else is like, motherfucker.
I'm deciding whether I want to cut that part out or not. We're gonna watch the trailer for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. We're hitting play now.
You sure you hit it?
The fate of the universe lies on your shoulders.
Oh, this looks like 2.
Well, I can't cut it out now.
Don't push this button. Because that will set off the bomb immediately and we'll all be dead.
I love Baby Groot.
Repeat back what I just said. No! No, that's the button that will kill everyone. Try again.
I am Groot.
Mm-hmm.
I am Groot.
Uh-huh.
I'm Groot.
No!
I do like Groot and Rocket.
Yeah,
And Peter. And Drax.
I didn't like Gamora in this movie. I liked her in the first one. I didn't like her in this one, but that's just from memory.
At least he didn't say, I'm Star-Lord, man.
No, that's the other trailer that I played. I like Drax even more in this one.
Yeah.
I love that scene with Groot just fighting everybody. Because he's like just a little toddler just trying to beat up somebody.
Out there, I want to put some tape over the death button. Nobody has any tape. Not a single person has tape. You have an atomic bomb in your bag. If anybody's going to have tape, it's you. I have to do everything. You are wasting a lot of time.
I'm interested to see him as a teenager.
Yeah. I'm interested too in volume 3 of this. Because it might be even a different team if one of them died in Infinity War. I'd be surprised if one of them did.
Yeah.
Because they say after, because 3 is supposed to be the last one with this team.
I guess, yeah, I feel like
I'll let this finish.
selfish love for just about everybody.
No. Sexual love.
No, I don't.
For her.
No. She just told everyone your deepest, darkest secret. Dude, come on. I think you're overreacting a little bit. You must be so embarrassed. Do me.
He's such a weirdo.
I know. So like I was saying, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is supposed to be the last one with that group of people. And then after
That didn't sound safe.
it's got a case. And then after that, potentially we might have the Guardians of the Galaxy that showed up at the end of Volume 2, which I think would be very interesting to see.
Yeah.
So, cause like imagine like a Marvel movie basically led by Sylvester Stallone.
I totally forgot he was in it.
Like, wouldn't that be weird? But I feel like that'd be almost cool, like Rocky in space. He's like, oh, Iron Man, I'm gonna get you.
Why would he get Iron Man?
Papa.
You know, I was thinking, so we got 4 movies left.
Yeah.
Guardians, Homecoming, Thor, and then I guess we have to see Avengers after all this shit.
That'd be hilarious. Never mind. Fuck these movies.
Yeah, I'm over it.
Let's go see Batman v Superman again.
So, I guess so we need to pick the next one.
Yeah. Should we put up a poll on Twitter or something and then have nobody vote on it?
We could. Well, here's what I have
Planet-
I have 3 options.
We could bring back the spin wheel.
Does it have 3 options?
It has like 6 options.
So here's what I want. Okay, so
Here's what I want.
I don't want you to pick Planet of the Apes.
Why not? That is that's one of the best series of movies of all time. Actually, not really, because like 2 of them suck. But I just said 2 of them. 2 of them suck, but they're still really good. And we could even watch like if you wanted to. Let me finish.
You didn't let me finish.
We could watch all 6 of the original. Yeah, I said 6, because that would give us 6 weeks, and then we could watch the Mark Wahlberg one. You get to see him make out with a monkey, and then we could watch the 3 brand new ones, which are every single one of those are amazing.
So you just named 10 movies.
Exactly. Boom. That's the next 10 weeks of the show, potentially.
Yeah.
You could comment down below or vote on Twitter right now. No, you can't vote on Twitter right now. We don't vote.
Yeah, how the fuck?
But
Oh, good.
well, we got that. The GoPro just overheated. Let me move it. We got that camera. All right, sorry. I had to put a new SD card into that camera. That GoPro overheated. We're all failing over here. But like we were trying to say is, you can comment down below if you want to watch Planet of the Apes or whatever. But I think also if you have a different type of movie series in mind, I would hope there's at least 3 movies in the series to give us a couple weeks into it. Comment that down below, and that could potentially be the next whatever in this podcast.
Yeah, it could be. Now can I say what I was going to
Yeah,
say?
now you can. I wanted to finish that, but I stumbled on my words, and then 2 cameras turned off on me.
Okay, so that's 10 movies. That's a lot.
Yeah, but also if we were going to do Batman, there's also 10 Batman movies.
Well, I wasn't going to talk about. So I was thinking, I have 3 options to include with your option.
Mm-hmm.
Shorter options. So I was thinking,
We watched Looney Tunes season 1.
yeah, how did you know?
We get on here, be like, "Hey, Grandma."
Da, 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 da. Okay, so
Everybody do the bitch again.
I would totally watch those. Okay, so first option, Major League. 3 movies, easy. We could include Hess.
It's true. Let me have 2
If-
podcasts with Hess to do. 3, including you guys' sports.
Okay, you talking me out of it or into it? Okay, so only 3 movies, and we would be done quickly, and then we could move on to like maybe Planet of the Apes if it went well or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Then make Hess watch Planet of the Apes.
He's not gonna do that.
Yeah, 'cause he's a fucking pussy.
But that's fine though. If we did 3, it'd be like a change for a couple weeks, and then
Yeah.
bam. Other option I was thinking about today would be Rocky, which is ironic because
Ah.
you brought up.
Adrian!
Yeah, so we could.
Oh, and then end for. Well, what if we waited for Creed 2? Oh, that'd be a while though, 'cause they're just filming Creed 2 now. I was gonna say we could perfectly time that for Creed 2.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. But I would rather.
I even like
there's
the shitty
6
Rockies.
There's 6 Rockies.
Well, then 7, like if you include Creed, or did you include Creed?
No, I was gonna say 6 Rockies, and then we would watch Creed at the end. So we'd start off with a good one, end with a good one.
I feel like that'd be fun either, 'cause like even like the one that people consider shitty, I feel like it's still an okay movie. But then you haven't even seen. We have on Blu-ray. I never actually got to finish it 'cause I was watching it when I was watching Damien at Macy's
Balboa?
house. Yeah, I think it's just. Is it called Rocky Balboa?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have that as well. I bought that at Zia's, and then I never finished it 'cause you wouldn't watch it with me.
Yeah, because it's just come on.
But you never seen it. How do you know if it's bad?
I saw Rocky 5.
No, it probably is. That one probably is bad. He's got his son's all grown up and hates him.
I hated him at that point.
And I remember because me and Taylor watched like half of that because we were going to go see Creed the next day, and then we saw Creed, and then I was like, well, I don't need to watch it now. I saw the next movie.
I think Hess would do Rockies, although I don't know where he'd watch them.
It's true. I think some of them might be on Amazon or Netflix, but I'm not positive.
I mean, because like with me, like I just rent it, but I don't know if he would.
Yeah,
I mean,
we
he'll
own
buy
most of them. Yeah.
cigarettes, but he won't rent a movie.
If he can come over here, if he could get his lazy ass, he's not watching this. But if he could get off and just come over here like he used to, it'd be fine. He could just watch it
He
here.
lives too far away. So, third option, the 4 Indiana Jones movies.
Oh,
I think Hess could do that maybe too.
that'd be interesting.
You know.
What I'm getting from you here is you want to replace me with Hess.
No, I just think a third thing would be cool to talk about. But
yeah,
I
and it'd also be cool like we included Hess in something different and then go back to superheroes or whatever, like just to make it different than that. This fly needs to fuck off.
Well, don't make him fly at me.
Like I don't know where he came from. There wasn't a fly in here. The cameras died and he appeared.
Maybe he killed the camera.
Maybe. Who just killed the camera? It was probably the fly. Get the. Okay, we need to wrap this up. This fucker's going crazy.
Jesus, clean your room. Like you're fucking.
I'm gonna stab
You're
him.
not gonna stab a fly.
Hold on. Let's see if I can do this live on the podcast. Audio listeners,
If you stab a fly, yes,
I almost stabbed myself in the eye trying to get the knife out. Okay, you ready?
You're gonna knock. You didn't even hit the cork.
Well, he was gonna move away. I didn't want to like stab the cork.
I didn't want to like stab the cork.
All right, end the podcast.
Uh,
I'll stab you.
all right, that's all, folks.
All right, so yeah, comment down below any movie series you want to hear or us talk about or anything that Nick said. We'll see you guys next week for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.